Today we're going to be doing a more casual smoky eye technique. I am going to be applying the bronzer, and I'm going to apply it with a 190 brush because I'm just going to kind of do it on the cheeks a little bit just to give that sun glow. I like to start right here by dabbing it, and then I'll come up here and I'll kind of come down into it. First I'm going to be starting out with Painterly. It is a paint pot, and I like to use this underneath every single eyeshadow application. This is what it looks like. It is just like a little foundation. It's got the lid right here. They have different colors. You can even use shade sticks. I used to use shade sticks, and then I discovered these, and they're much, much easier. So I'm actually going to apply this with my finger. You don't have to if you want less oil, because oil's on your fingers. You can apply it with a small concealer brush. I don't have one. I just have the 190. So I'm just going to apply this. And it dries pretty fast. It's kind of like a really, really matte texture. So after a few seconds, I tend to go back over it again. And then the excess that is on my fingers, I'll take up and go around the edges here. I don't want too much there because I want to be able to blend the eyeshadow, and if I have too much of that kind of texture on there, it's a lot harder to blend. It just wants to stick. So now we are going to be using Digit as the base. My makeup kit got separated this weekend from going to a hair training class, so I don't have all my brushes on me. So I am actually going to use a different brush. It's not M.A.C, but if my brushes were clean, I would use the 239 SE. Take it and lightly, I like to go halfway over, because this is where I'm going to be applying more of the smoky up into here, and if I bring this powder over, the black is not going to stick to it as well. It's going to want to slide right off. So I like to just apply a few times, a few layers, and what I'll do is I'll just go a little bit in the crease right here and bring it up. And stop. I don't know if you can see, but you see how I left that kind of left that open. I am first, a lot of people, they like to go in right here with their black and start going up. I like to take a base color underneath the black. That's what you're going to want to do if you want smoky eye, more of a natural look and not so heavy black. My favorite color for this smoky eye is Trax, and it is velvet, and it's a little bit sparkly. It's actually got some gold sparkles in it. You can't really see it. If you want to go a little bit heavier and a little bit more like night smoky, you can use grape pigment. You have to apply it very, very carefully though, and make sure you really smooth it out because you're going to go over it with black. So you don't want something too heavy under the black or else it's going to look, I'm just going to take my 217 brush, which is the blending brush, right here, and I'm going to go right at the top, like right above your pupil, your black part of your eye, and I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to dab it, and I'm going to dab it all the way over. Now, I'm going over here, but I'm still leaving this open because that's where we're going to put our black. So, you know me, I like to layer a few times, so I'm going to do it again. But I'm going to kind of come up a little bit because I'm going to come up here a little bit to get it more rounded. Now I'm going to take it without putting any extra powder on it, and I'm going to go up and make circles. I'm going to take another 217 brush. You can never have enough of these. Okay, so I'm going to take the black. I'm going to use Carbon, and we're going to take the 217 brush, and I'm going to dab again. A lot of people, they like to spread, and they like to move it, but I like to dab it because it gets it on there, and then you can go in and circle and blend it. It's much easier that way. Dab it right here in the corner, and then I kind of like to bring it down a little. So it kind of goes at an angle here, and then I'm going to go up a little bit above it and do the same thing. Now I'm going to be moving it and smoothing it because I don't have enough to dab it. So I'm going to take circles, go up a little bit, up into this just a little, and keep going side to side right here. You can make circles, but go side to side. And what's good about this technique is that what you did was you left that open to put the black on, and then by having some powder right here, as you blend it, it's going to blend more soft. Get a little bit more carbon and go back over it again. A lot of the times, to make a darker black and make it stick just a little bit better, I'll go through and put a shade stick right here. But I'll do the same technique. I'll dab it on and go at a corner at an angle. So I'm going to go over one more time. I like to do 3 layers for everything. It tends to give it a more dramatic look. I kind of like sweep it into this just a little. I would use, again, if I had all my brushes with me, I would use the 239 SE or any kind of eyeshadow brush, but I'm going to be using this brush that I have. The one I'm using is Bisque, but you want to use something that's close to your skin tone because you want this to blend evenly. So I'm going to take that. Sometimes I'll use the same shadow I'm using down here, but I don't want it to look too crazy, so I'm just going to take that, and again, I dab and kind of smooth. I'll go back through still and kind of like take my blending brush, my 217, and kind of go over the colors again and move it up into what I just put on because I'm really a stickler for making sure it is all like rounded and even. So that's like more of like the finishing touches that you can do afterwards, but as far as technique, these are the techniques. We're going to take our 208 brush, which is a little bitty angle brush, and this is hard for a lot of people. So you can use... what I like to use if you're not looking for a very dramatic look is I'll use the 228 brush, which is this itty bitty eyeshadow brush. And I'll take the carbon black and I'll take it and I'll literally dot it on the line all the way over because it's going to give like a soft liner instead of that hard look. But for this look, I'm going to use Black Trax Fluid Line. It's a cream. And I'm going to literally take this and dab it in there just one time because you don't want too much of this stuff on. If you want a more heavy look, I would start and I would just line it. But since I don't want that thick line, I'm going to do the same technique and I'm going to dab it on the line. And after I dab it and get most of the excess stuff off, then I go back through and kind of smooth it out with the same brush. So now I'm smoothing it out. And sometimes it takes practice with this too. Now I'm going to do that on the bottom too. Just dabbing it. And I'm connecting it right to here. Give that really smooth. And this fluid line does not come off. Like, this is perfect to use for liners for brides because it's not going to smear, it's not going to drip if they cry, so it's definitely the perfect thing to use. I'm going to do now, because I want a more softer look of the eyeliner, the more heavy, like soft smoky, I'm going to go ahead and take that 228 brush, dip it in my carbon, and I'm going to go over it. Now, I'm going to dab kind of and smooth at the same time when I go over it, but the trick to it is once you kind of do that, go slightly above the line as if you were going to draw another line on top of it. Take your carbon with your 228 and kind of like make little brush strokes right above it. You don't want a whole lot on your brush. See how that gives it a softer smoky look? I'm going to do that on the bottom too. Alright guys, this is the finished product. So I applied the cream sheen glass over the lips. I didn't put any chapstick, nothing on except for that Prep and Prime. And I used Fashion Scoop. So this is the finished